Then there was a town.
Irving, Tennessee.
There was a circus.
Sparks World Famous Shows proudly presents.
There was a railroad.
The Clinchfield and Ohio. There was an elephant.
Mary, Mary, Mary.
And there was a man with red hair.
It was September, and there was a town, and there was a circus.
Charlie Sparks, owner, operator, Sparks World Famous Shows. You want to run a circus? Always keep it about the money. You might have a dream. Dream of making a crowd leap to its feet, shout with one voice, Sparks! 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 Be careful. You're the ringmaster. Dreams aren't for you. Dreams are for rubbernecks. Dreams are for suckers.
Irwin, the town that couldn't remember its own name. True story. It's supposed to be named Irvin after some rich fellow. Postmaster messed up, spelled it E-R-W-I-N instead. Nobody bothered to fix it. Yep, that's Irwin for you.
I lift things, heavy things, anything. This gets me to boat. This gets me to America. This gets me to circus.
Never been nowhere. Work a steam shovel down at Irwin Rail Yard. Dig holes all day. One hole after another. Papers say we might go to war with the Kaiser. I'll be the first to sign up. Woo-wee! Such a patriotic young man. Hell, ain't patriotic, just bored.
Ballet girl. Ballet girl. Ballet girl. Can't dance. Practically old enough to have a girl of my own. But ballet girl it is. Not a show girl. A ballet girl. Substitute ballet for show. And I'm not a scandal. I'm an artist. I'm not a temptress in tights. I'm a dancer. A ballet girl. That's me. From head to toe. Mud. Yellow bunch. Everywhere. Boardwalks help some. Not enough. Always scraping it off her shoes. Enough to drive a person crazy, all that scraping. Buried 2 kids in the mud. Husband. Mud trying to swallow me up, swallow this whole town up. God's punishing us for something. Make another flood to wash Irwin clean.
Finished putting up the Irwin Evergreen Free Will Church in July. Turns out I might have been a bit optimistic about how many rows of pews I needed. It's a little quiet on Sundays. Love, forgiveness, joy. I'll keep on testifying. There ain't nothing more lonely than a New Testament preacher in an Old Testament town.
It's love. Feed her, wash her, sleep with her. Hell, end of the day, I even have a drink with her. Pour some whiskey in a bucket, mix it in with some water, she loves it. Sticks her trunk in, it's gone in a second. I'm lucky. They live a long time. You play your cards right, you got a friend for life.
Could use more friends, I guess. Play with my brother Eli, skip stones at trains, read Tarzan books. He's something. Read them right before bed. Gives me the best dreams.
Too old, the lot of ya. Kids laugh, easy peasy, but we Joeys keep kids born to laugh. Give them perspective. A lesson to carry on forever. Biggie, that there's always somebody worse off than you. Except for us. Nothing below a clown, they all pull rank, even the ballet girls. We are the last ones to get to the makeup mirror. Even though we wear the most makeup. Let me put it this way. How many ringmasters does it take to change a light bulb? None. They tell the clowns to do it.
Oh. Best this country has to offer. Rise and tall every year. Peace. Keep it that way. Folks around here are honest, law-abiding, and folks around here I worry about. It's the strangers. It's that damn train station.
All the traveling from town to town, all the firing, all the hiring. Me. Firing happens all the time. Fella's lucky, he gets fired in one of the towns during a stop.
lucky, he gets red lighted, tossed off the back of our train while it's still moving. Sucker don't see nothing but the red lights of the caboose as it fades away. And hiring, yeah, do a lot of that too. Circus needs plenty of muscle and not just in the ring. Townies get out of line now and then. Want to prove they're tougher than the strong man. Get fresh for the ballet girl. Sparks sees any funny business. He calls out, "Hey, Roo!" I gotta teach every new hire. They hear that. "Hey, Roo!" They drop whatever they're doing and defend their own.
It was September and there was a town and a circus and a railroad.
The railroad invented time in America. We came along and told this country we have a schedule to keep. Time is not relative. Time is precise. Time is not gray. Time is black and white. The circus, Irwin, they have our guarantee. You can depend on the railroad.
It was September and there was a town.
There was a circus.
There was a railroad.
And there was an elephant.
Mary.
We dreamed her before we saw her.
She was plastered on every telephone pole.
Every fence post. Every barn door.
September.
The circus was coming.
She was coming. To our muddy town.
It was all then black and white.
And color. It said.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Sparks, Whirls, Famous Shows. The show that never broke a promise.
Moral, entertaining, instructive.
25 years of honest dealing with the public.
Proudly presents a tremendous exhibition of wealth and splendor.
All new for 1916.
Starring Mary, the largest living land animal on Earth.
Death-defying feats of skill and daring.
Mary, over 5 tons.
2 packs of man-killing lions.
Mary, 3 inches taller than Jumbo.
5,000 seats.
Mary, guaranteed at every performance.
A free street parade each day at noon.
Mary.
Mary.
Mary,
Mary.
Mary.
An elephant is an investment. You open up your pocketbook, throw down the 8 grand, and don't think about it again. Simple. Oh, you have the trapeze artist, the trained seals, the strongman. Those aren't your bread and butter. No rubberneck comes to a circus that doesn't have an elephant. Strike that. No rubberneck comes to a circus doesn't have a big elephant.
They love a parade. All elephants do in the wild anyways walk around. The wild elephant herd follows a leader, and the leader is the biggest female. I got no reason to mess with that here. So they all march behind Mary. Shadrach, Penny, Sue, little Mabel, all of them, trunk wrapped around the tail in front of them. Let me tell you, the only thing better than watching an elephant parade is being in the elephant parade. The only thing better than being in the elephant parade is leading it, a dream, sitting on top of the world. Slim, sitting on top of my own personal mountain, on top of Mary, legs wrapped around her back, head in the clouds.
impressive. No? No? So tell me, I do not cost as much. I am not as temperamental. I do not relieve myself all over the stage. So tell me, please have the courtesy to inform me, why is that elephant the star of the show?
Once I'm creek safe, nothing more than a wholesome ballet girl. Then, I add the elephant. 5 tons of gray flesh bearing me half naked into the ring, wrapping me in its trunk. Oh, I'm never more powerful, sensual, dangerous than when I was married. Keep your makeup, your spangles, your headdress. Diamonds? Diamonds are nothing. An elephant is a girl's best friend.
They're the hardest workers I got. They load and unload the box cars, push up the tent poles. Those tuskers can do anything.
Nobody looks down on the elephants, right? They don't have to put on your makeup or play the dope to get an applause. They're too mighty to ever be made humble, too strong to ever be broken, too big to ever be laid low. And Mary's the biggest we Joey's ever seen. So we love her the most.
Listen, an elephant isn't a friend, isn't something cute to look at, isn't a symbol for anything else. An elephant is an elephant, and an elephant is an investment.
It was September, and there was a town, and a circus, and there was a railroad, and an elephant, and last but not least, there was a man with red hair.
Lou knocks on my boxcar, tells me I got a new roommate, goofy-looking red-haired guy. I tell Lou, crowded enough in here with 5 elephants. But he insists. Tells me Red's my new partner. Don't like partners. But I'm not gonna be a jerk about it. I show Red his corner. He gripes about the smell, and I tell him, get used to it. Townies think elephants smell bad in the rain. Try sleeping with one in a boxcar. He shuts up when he sees Mary. He looks at her like she's the answer to his prayers. I don't know what's up with the guy, if he's a nut or soft in the head or what. Any case, I ain't gonna turn my back on him. I may not be big, but he makes one wrong move. Red's getting the red light.
Click-clack, through the night. Erwin is waiting, and we will not disappoint. You can depend on the railroad.
Dig, 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 dig. Dig. Train. Whistle. Elephant. Circus.
Eli woke me up at 4 a.m. that night, and I cussed him out because I thought we was going to be late. Peeped in at our folks still sleeping, snuck out the window to the field where they do it. We were all there, all the kids in there went there to watch them set up the big top, the greatest free show on earth. Train whistled, brakes screamed, and men and animals stomped out of every door. And everybody seemed to know what they were doing, except this red-headed guy. He kept tripping on ropes and bumping into stuff, and his face turned as red as his hair. Then, they brought out this big elephant. It made this big trumpet. I about peed myself. They set up the main tent pole right in front of that thing's eyes, and it kept walking on forward. Boom, 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 pushing the tent pole higher, higher, higher. That's about my favorite part of the circus, watching them set it up. That and the parade. I was really looking forward to that parade.
Bob, 9 a.m. Ringmaster cleared the route. Told me to keep the horses away. Could spook the elephants. Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Main Street will hold its horses. Hell, not enough we gotta let the circus come to town and pick the pockets out of all of us. Go roll out the red carpet for them, too, while they do it.
I taught Red how to feed her, groom her. That's it. That's all I knew how to do. Lou waltzes in and says,
Come on, Slim. Red wants to ride Mary in the parade. Back off and give the new guy a chance.
I should have said no. I should have told Lou she was mine.
He didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. I just stepped aside, maybe made a face. That was my big protest. A face.
The kisser on that guy.
It's trust. Trust you build up over years, not days. Every peanut, every bath, every pat on the trunk. It's trust. Love. But Red didn't have time for any of that. Red had a parade to lead.
Slim's on Shadrach. I still don't know if I'm gonna say so.
Trunks up!
I opened the doors and the steps of the church were thick with people. Faces I'd never seen before. I was fixing to thank Jesus for answering my prayers. People weren't trying to get in, though. Steps were just the best place to face out. To see the parade. Provide a little hype. All there, whole town was lined on the street. White, colored, man, woman, child, all there. Glow in their eyes, waiting to see a miracle. Well, if I can provide that glow on Sundays, at least there was something that could.
Right on Main Street. Our Main Street.
Had the day off from the shovel. Everybody had the day off. Circus day.
I about peed myself.
Elephants, clouds, tigers, all looking down on Main Street through our yellow mud.
Made everyone look like something for once.
You can hear the bass drum and brass band for miles.
elfin circus folk. Hems of their dresses, tails of their coats.
Colors you never dreamed of.
So long, stretched on forever.
Elephant had her with mud all over it.
That big elephant was leading the whole thing. The red-headed guy, he was up on her back. Mary.
Mary.
And then the dominoes start to fall. Elephant sees Melon. Elephant walks toward Melon. Elephant Rider turns around. Elephant Rider encourages Elephant to abandon Melon. Elephant ignores Elephant Rider. Elephant Rider is most insistent to the tune of Elephant Hook across Elephant Head. Elephant keeps walking toward Melon. Elephant holds up Grade. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant Rider breaks Elephant Hook across Elephant Tusk. Elephant thinks. Elephant decides she's had enough of Elephant Rider. Elephant picks Elephant Rider off Elephant back with Elephant Trunk. Elephant Trunk throws Elephant Rider into soda pop stand. Elephant Rider groans and rubs. Elephant Rider thinks it's over. Elephant Rider is wrong. Elephant walks over to Elephant Rider and puts Elephant foot on Elephant Rider head. Elephant Rider screams. Elephant foot steps on head. Elephant Rider head explodes like a melon. Elephant Rider turns red. Elephant walks away. Elephant Rider don't. Elephant, free of Elephant Rider, strolls on over and helps himself to some milk. Simple. Parade stops. Man dies. Elephant turns killer. All for a melon.
Nothing. Thing didn't flinch. Somebody screamed. Townsfolk ran off in a panic. Couldn't do nothing but stand there holding my empty pop gun. While that thing ripped apart its little snap. Eating that melon with that poor man's crushed head sat there, all opened up and leaking. Ringmaster went up to me and told me we'll settle this later. Told him, yes, sir, we will. Scrawny guy led that thing back to the fairgrounds while some Connies led that leaking fellow off in one of them animal cages. Clowns washed down the street with buckets of water. Then, quiet for a minute, like nothing happened. Some of the townsfolk came back later. Many of them were crying. A few of them were laughing. At me.
Folks wound up again 3 deep on the street, waiting for someone to tell them what to do. I opened the church doors, but no one came in.
There was a pool of blood and brains in front of the post office.
I heard his head crack open again. In my head. Sharp cracks, and then softer ones, one after another. Crack, 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 crack.
She stepped
crack,
on his skull.
Crack, crack.
Crushed it. Sent another body into the mud.
No one came in.
Couldn't stop looking at that blood.
Crack, crack, crack.
Town's cursed.
No one.
Heard that fellow was from Kingsport.
Eli thought he knew him.
Could have been any of us.
No one.
Carl said she killed 2 men in Virginia.
7 men.
18.
Right on Main Street.
Can't just do that, can it? Go around killing people?
Our
Main Street.
Tarzan would have stopped her. Tarzan would have climbed up on her back and stabbed her brains out and gouged out her eyes.
Right on Main Street. Eye for an eye. Eye for an eye. Maybe God will stop punishing us.
Our Main Street.
Eye for an eye. Eye for an eye. Maybe God will stop punishing us.
That's what Tarzan was done. Right on Main Street. Our Main Street.
Now that could have been the end of it there. But that would have been right. That would have been justice. Maybe my gun didn't mean squat to that thing, but damn it, we found something that would. It wasn't walking away from this. Owen don't take kindly upon murders.
Crowd breaks up and follows the marshal into the saloon. I stand in the doorway. Here to talk. Lots of talk. Talk about public menace. Talk about what you do with rabid dogs. Talk about what's right and what's wrong.
I stared at the steps. The empty steps. I walked into the church and let the door swing shut behind me.
I tried to get in touch with Red's family, friends, but didn't have none.
It's like he didn't exist except for us. Like he was born to do nothing but cause us trouble.
Poor kid.
He was weak, did not understand. You are on top of her, but she is stronger, not you.
Has Joey said a few words?
Buried him in the fairground.
Still have a show to do that night. Must go on. Doors!
I told Charlie maybe we should keep Mary out that night. Maybe the people forget. He told me what I already knew.
They won't forget. Aren't coming to see the circus. Coming to see the killer.
He was right. Would have been a riot if we kept her out.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Sparks World Famous Show proudly presents...
Normal night, we'd play up the danger. Talk up the toothless tiger. Not this time. Ballet girl brought Mary out like she was the most innocent of God's creatures.
Look at me. Look at me, all of you. Here I am, wrapped up in the very trunk that did the deed. And am I scared? Am I trembling? I'm smiling. Smiling!
But it didn't work. Those people weren't there to forgive. Nah, they just stood up and pelted her with popcorn. And then they made this sound.
Did you hear that? Comes true. It finally comes true in a tiny town in Tennessee. Crowd leaps to its feet, shouts with one voice, shakes the air, makes it tremble. Oh, it's not the sparks, sparks, sparks you dreamed of. But they shout louder than any lion's roar. Young and old, united in one glorious moment of certainty. Kill it! Kill it! Kill it!
It got louder. The marshal and some people were waving guns around and everybody was shouting. All except the colored section.
No need to say that. Or we don't give you no good. Let's keep your mouth shut.
And then the clown started talking. I didn't know clowns could talk.
No, where was one of us? Part of the circus. He knew the risks.
Then the skinny guy stood up.
You all saw him hit their tusk with a hook. What's she supposed to do? She stopped him. That's all. She stopped him.
The marshal and the new preacher started talking.
These guys can talk all they want. We know what we've seen. And the people of Owen,
No, we don't. I didn't cast no vote. No vote was counted. I'm a person, God knows. But I'm not the people. I'm not the people.
we know what we've seen. And the people of Owen, demand justice!
Then the strong man held up a barbell and started shouting at the ringmaster.
Sparks! Call the Heru! Call it! Sparks!
But the ringmaster didn't do nothing.
Let loose the lions! The tigers! Those rubbernecks want to see who's stronger. Their straw hats, their puny chests. I'll crush them all! Sparks! Call the Heru! Call it! Sparks!
Finally, the ringmaster raised a hand. And it all got quiet.
Now, $8,000 is a lot to lose in a hick town middle of nowhere. But investments get tricky when the people want blood. Because you see, it's not just Irwin. Your advance men wire back from your upcoming stops. Johnsonville, Indian Ridge, Rogers City. Your circus isn't welcome there until that elephant's taken care of. So, is she still worth $8,000? Is she still worth anything? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the circus understands. The circus understands your wishes. This merry matter will be settled to your liking tomorrow, and we are open to suggestions.
The marshal knew shooting it with a pistol hadn't worked. So they talked about getting a cannon. A Civil War cannon from a nearby museum. They talked about electrocuting it. Frying it up like some of them had seen in that moving picture Thomas Edison made. But that was copycat stuff. That wasn't dreaming big enough. We had the answer. We always have the answer. The rail yard. There's a crane there that can lift up to 100 tons. Says so right there on the side of it. Right there in black and white. Nothing great can stand up to that much black and white. Now something like that could do something special. Something never been done before. Why, something like that could hang her. Hang her like any other murderer. She may be big, but that rail yard crane's bigger. Crane will get the job done. Crane will do the trick. Crane's the railroad, after all. And you can always depend on the railroad.
Thinking suits me, I guess. Still think the cannon would be better.
Eye for an eye. Irwin will finally be clean.
I'd have never believed it. Irwin.
Irwin's the place to be tomorrow, because nobody's hanging an elephant tomorrow. So that's something we got. You want to see it? Get off your fat butt and you come here for a change.
So now Lou and Sparks need my help. What am I gonna do? Walk away? Leave them to figure this out themselves? No. I stay. I stay because if I don't, they'll mess it up. It'll be even worse of a spectacle. Lou and Sparks are happy this is my answer. They smile and open their mouths. I stop them. I tell them, don't think I've forgiven you. Don't think that. I will never forgive you. I tell them, go ahead. What's your question? They ask how to lead her out to the rail yard tomorrow. How to lead her through all those people without all hell breaking loose. I think. Tell them, Tuscos ain't stupid. They know when something's up. You've got to make her think it's a normal march. She can't go out there alone. She has to lead the parade like it's any other parade. Shadrach, Penny, Sue, little Mabel. All of them, trunk to tail like always. Then what? Then this. Then somebody chains Mary's foot to the tracking of the crane so she can't move. Then Lou, you lead the rest of the elephants away, fast, before they smell the panic on her. Then somebody climbs up on Mary's back and puts the hanging chain around her. Someone she knows, someone she trusts. They look at me like I'm crazy. Tell them to relax. Tell them I'll do it.
You don't sleep that night, you think. You wish you could charge admission tomorrow, but it's not your show. It's theirs.
Morning finally came. Couldn't help but feel like there was a spark in the universe. Put on brand new shoes. Wanted to look my best.
Ma told us not to go. But me and Eli, we was going.
Got to the railroad tracks, so I wasn't the only one gussied up.
I went to bear witness. See the globe.
Men in the only suits they owned. Women in their Sunday best, prancing around with parasols like it was Easter.
Never been so proud.
All of Irwin. Seems like all of Tennessee. Quite aside. People rising out of the mud. Standing on top of boxcars, top of cranes, coal tipples.
I was sitting in the cab of my steam shovel. Best seat in the house.
Picnic baskets, food, punch.
We were doing it upright.
Everybody was sharing with everybody else. I kept to myself, laughing, dancing.
The globe was brighter than the sun.
All the kids would play acting what was going to happen.
Eli and me about peeing ourselves.
I saw men drinking.
I saw Carl and them having a good old time out behind the caboose.
I took the bottle out of their hands, smashed it on the tracks. They looked at me like I was crazy, but I knew it was wrong. Wrong to sully the act with liquor.
It was gonna be something.
Act had to be pure, clean.
I couldn't take it no more.
You could feel it. We were ready.
You wait for the signal from Johnny Tin Plate. Trunks up!
The killer was in front. Them elephants marched out, holding each other's tails with their trunks, like a parade or a line of boxcars.
Now why the hell would they bring all those other ones out?
They walked all through the rail yard, right up to the crane. Then this skinny guy came out and chained the killer's foot to the track.
Now, Lou, now.
I grabbed Shadrach.
The other elephants started making this sound. Like they knew once they left, the big one was gonna get it.
Get them out of here.
Real funny sound.
Now.
Sounded kinda human.
Lord.
Like 20 or 30 people moaning full out at the same time.
Come on! Come on!
Eli and me plugged our ears.
Finally got Shadrach and the rest of them out of there.
Finally.
We took our fingers out.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Ready? Showtime, sweetie.
Skinny guy ran up her back.
Women were hiding their faces or pretending to.
We were afraid she was gonna pick him up with her trunk like she did that red-headed guy.
But she didn't seem spooked at all. Skinny guy hooked the chain around her neck, patted her back, and stood up.
That skinny guy ran off. She was all alone.
Mud in between the folds of her skin.
She looked scary.
Helpless.
Confused.
Guilty.
Like a killer.
Like a queen.
The marshal looked up at the engineer and time. The railroad controls time. I made it stand still. The masses waited below with held breath to see if it was possible. If the railroad could actually kill their elephant dead for them. I smiled. A reassuring smile. You can depend on the railroad. I placed my hand on the hanging lever. I gripped the handle hard, tasting the silent seconds, rolling them around in my mouth. I knew that this part, the before part, would be the best part of all. And then I threw the lever, and time started up again. The crane groaned, gears grinding in.
Damn that thing, don't lift off the ground. An elephant, for Pete's sake.
It rose up steady till it was on its hind legs. Tiptoe. Toenail scraping against the track. Tiptoe. Like it was doing a trick.
Well, the arms started clapping again. I shot a big smile down the car on them because they bet me $100 there's no way in hell that elephant was ever going to leave Mother Earth.
Then we started wondering why that thing was going any higher up.
The gears sounded kind of stuck.
I got to thinking. Maybe she's too heavy. Maybe a 100-ton crane can lift 100-ton steel, but not a 5-ton animal. Maybe her soul's too heavy. Maybe her soul's as heavy as the rest of her.
But that wasn't it.
Wasn't the crane. Crane could lift her. Crane could lift her fine.
It was a people problem, not a crane problem. People don't always remember so good. Even a big crowd of people. Even thousands of people. And no one did. Nobody remembered to unhook her. Nobody remembered that her foot was still chained to the railroad track. Her foot was still chained to the railroad track.
So they were kind of pulling her in half a bit. Pulling her leg at this weird angle. Her leg holding her to the track while the rest of her was headed up.
Her leg broke. The bone about as big as my whole body, breaking. I could feel it in my spine. My spine buckled, ached in sympathy, rang like a tuning fork.
Eli started crying.
Should have left then, I suppose.
Eli ran off.
But I stayed.